अस्तित्तरस्यां दिशिदेवतात्मा हिमालयो नाम नगाधिराजः पूर्वापरौ तवयनिधिव गाह्य स्थितः पृथिव्या इव मानदण्डः. We're in the fifth act, and Parivrittir Alankara is the main subject here. That is, what were all the luxuries that Parvati was experiencing when she was in the palace, and now she has let go of all of those luxuries and she has taken up an ascetic way of life. So what were the changes that she did? Each one of them are being described by Kālidāsa in his own style here. So, Nisrishta Ragat Adharan Nivartitaha Stanangaragaarunitacha Kandukat Kushankuradana Parikshatangulihi Kritaha Akshasutra Pranayi Taya Karaha. Her hand, which was used to apply color to the lips, and her hands, which were also used, which used to be, used to catch balls and play with her friends. But now that hand has stopped those works. So Nisrishta Raga Adharat Nivartitaha Karaha. Her hand stopped from that, and it is also stopped from playing with the items, ball, Kandukat Nivartitaha. Now, what is that hand engaged in doing? It is kshatam. It is wounded because she has been plucking kusha grass, and the ankuram, the young ones, are really sharp there. So they have scratched her fingers. And kritaha akshasutra pranaye, and she is always having a rudrakshamala in her hand. The next one is her shayya. Maharha shayya parivartanachyutaihi swakesha pushpairapi yasmaduyate ashetasa bahulatopadhayini nishedushi standilayeva kevale. She used to lie down on really valuable, expensive bed, maybe something like swan's down, or filled with feathers and all that. So Maharha Shayya, when she used to lie down on those expensive beds, Maharha Shayya Parivartanachyutaihi, she would wear flowers on her hair, and when she lay down on the bed and she was sleeping, automatically when you turn this way and that way, if you have slept with flowers in your hair, you will know that when you wake up in the morning, the bed will be filled with the flowers that have dropped off. Right? So, Parivartana Chyutaihi Swakesha Pushpaihi Yasma Duyate. But even those flowers which fell from her head that she used as an Alankarana Vastu, Swakesha Pushpaihi, which were Chutam, which fell on the bed when she was turning, Parivartana. Those flowers, because of those flowers, she used to feel miserable about it. Because her body, when it touched the flowers, her புண்படு இல்லையா, அது சொல்றாங்க. அதாவது பூ பட்டாலே புண்படுற மாதிரி இருக்கான் அவளுடைய உடம்பு, அது சொல்ற. So even the flowers that fell, she would, by rolling on it, she would experience pain with those flowers. Now what did she do? Sa bahulata upadhayini. She would just place her arm as a pillow right now. No expensive bed or the Tempur-Pedic types and all, not there. So bahulata upadhayini, bahulata, her hand itself, her arm itself was an upadhayini, was the upadha or the pillow for her. And she would sit down nishedushi. She would sit down only on the floor, and she would also sleep only on the floor. So sthandile eva kevale sthandile. Atra kevale sthandile iti cheta, the bare earth. Even on the earth, ipa nambala pai potu ponle, and the madri, none of that was even used by her. So kevale sthandile, on the bare earth, she would just sit down, and using her hand as a pillow, asheta, she slept. There's also another kind of Parivritti Alankara. He gives a Yajnavalkya Vachanam for this. Swapyat bhumau shuchi ratrau divasam niyamair nayet sthana asana viharairva yogabhyasena va tatha iti Yajnavalkya Vachana siddhatvat vratinam avashya kartavyam bhumishayanam aha. Vratinam avashya kartavyam. यदि योगी तर्हि योगाभ्यास मार्गे यः गच्छति तर्हि तस्य अवश्य कर्तव्यं. There are some actions that need to be done by him necessarily. What are those? Bhumau swapyat, shuchi ratrau. So shuchi bhutva, you should always be pure. That is after taking a bath or purifying oneself. Bhumau swapyat ratrau. During the night, one should sleep only on the floor. Divasam, but during the day, can you sleep on the bed? Divasam niyamaihi nayet. Divasam, the day should be spent, nayet. The day must be spent by adhering to certain rules. Niyamaihi, sthana, asana, viharaihi. You can sit down or viharam, you can roam around, fine. Yoga abhyasenava. Or you can do yoga abhyasa. These are the activities during the day. Diva swapaha tu nishiddhaha ityartha. Even for normal people, sleeping during the day, I just slept and woke up, but still what to do? During the day, sleeping is supposed to be papam, but we do. This is a niyamam for the vrati, one who has taken up a penance or one who has taken up a vow to do something. Appo you follow certain rules. Iti
Or if you have a grandma at home, you can't sleep.
That is true. Very true. When we were all young, I think when I grew up, we never used to have that habit of sleeping in the afternoon. I don't know. Yeah.
I think that happens with age, Leah.
True.
கொஞ்சம் sleep
வர்றது அது என்ன பண்றது இல்ல ஆனா திவா ஸ்வாபஹா கூடாதுங்கறா.
But they also say that ஒரு 20 minutes is good enough, but that 20 minutes in the afternoon is
power nap
really well.
Yeah. Power nap. या महारहशय्या परिवर्तनच्युतैः स्वकेशपुष्पैः अपि दूयते स्म सा केवले स्तण्डिले एव निषेदुषी अशेस्त. So when she used to sleep there is this princess and pea அப்படினுட்டு ஒரு fairy tale story ஒன்னு உண்டு. Who is the best princess?
Seventh bed below that.
There is one pea which will just give her a sleepless night. அந்த மாதிரி. So maharhayam anargha dukula nirmitayam. Anargha, very costly. Dukulam is silk, the shayya or the bed which was made from very costly expensive silk. Ati mridula tula garbhayam, and the top portion is covered by silk and inside it is filled with the tulam. Panj yelavam panjumbo shalmali vrikshasya tulam tu tatra, it is like silk. So tula is cotton. So it is filled with cotton here, which is very soft. Ati mridulam. Shayyayam yat parivartanam paritaha vartanam, moving here and there. Kādachitkam vivalanam. She could be just lying down quietly, but at the same time, you will also, there are times when you will turn and toss, right? So tena chutaihi patitaihi swakesha pushpaihi swasya keshe yani pushpani prasadhika janaihi. Prasadhika jana is attendants who do decoration for the princess. So saurabhya atishaya udbhavanartham, in order to give more fragrance to the hair, they put flowers, because ambalukku vandu Trishathila ela sugandhi chikurand. She is already, her hair has that fragrance of ela. Elana elaka kodi. Ela sugandhi chikura. So saurabhya atishaya udbhavanartham, it is already fragrant. The women there who were attending to her wanted to increase that fragrance in her hair, so they placed flowers. Nikshiptani shayyayam patitva shariram sprishadbihi ityarthat siddhyati. So pushpaihi duyate sma ityeva asti. Pushpani tu tatra karanam vartate, tasyaha kheda karanam. But how can the flowers on the hair be, which have also fallen down on the bed, they could very well be on some other side and she may be sleeping on this side, it could be a calking for all we know. But then that's why the Vyakhyata specifies, he says shariram sprishadbihi, when the moment the flower touches her body, it gave her pain. Kim punaha prithvigataihi Pashana pramukhaihi kathinadravyaihi iti api shabdartah. Atra api inge enna irukku? Pushpairapi ya dhuyate sma. Even with the flowers, one who experienced pain. So what to say of the floor, which is really harsh, and that too she is in an ashrama here. She is not in some beautiful mosaic floor where she can lie down. Even that can be really hard, right? But Pashana Pramukhaihi, on the floor, which has a lot of small stones, Kathina Dravyaihi, and it is also very hard to the body, to the touch. So Duyate Sma, Sukumara Shariratvat Paritapam Prapat. She underwent paritapa, that is, she got difficulties because her body was very soft here. Sa Kevale, Kevale Virumnangrola, Anastrite, something that doesn't have astritam, nothing to cover the floor. So Uttarachada Matrena Pirahitaha. Sometimes we just put one pie, not even that sort of a thing was there to protect her body from the floor. So Uttarachada Matrena Pirahitaha, that which is devoid of even a small covering. Sthandile Bhumau Na Kadachit Shayyayam Api Iti Evakararthaha. Sthandile Eva. In the sense, there can be one bed in the corner, but she prefers to sit down. Sometimes she would use the bed. Tatha nasti shayya eva na vartate tatra sthandile eva sa asheta. And the eva angarthukku swaram kootanum bar. Adu eva potu adu okati ekkanum bar. So she didn't, not even on an occasion that she slept on a bed. Nishedushi Divaseshu iti seshaha. That's what he says. During the day, she would sit on the bhumi, not in any asana. Or maybe during the darbhasana. Darbhasana is even worse than normal floor. Darbhas are so, the kora pullu matri irukum. To sit down on that, it's even worse than sitting down on plain floor. So Divaseshu, during the day, sthandile eva avasthita sati. She was sitting down on the floor. And tatraiva nishayam asheta ityarthaha. And she slept on the floor there too. Bhutala shayane taduchitam upadhanam api aha. Upadhanam is pillow. Bahulata. Bahulata prashastaha bahuhu bahulata. Tam upadadhati iti. So upadhayini. Upadhayi. When you, the bahulata, lata is a word that you use to indicate prashasta, that which is very good. Her arm, which was very soft, she used that as upadhanam. But the floor is really harsh on her bahu, and her body will also be on her arm as using it as a pillow. So imagine the trouble that she would go through. So atra shayya parivrittihi. Parivrittihi, again, it is the exchange of the shayya. Where even the flowers would give her some pain, here she would just sleep on the floor with probably a little bit of stones and all those things. Maharaha shayya parivartana chutaihi swakesha pushpairapi yasmaduyate ashetasa bahulatopadhayini nishedushi sthandilayeva kevalam. I think the Mallinatha has a different reading for this. There are differences between this and Mallinatha, so it's okay. Punargrahitum niyamasthayataya dvayeshu nikshepa ivarpitam dvayam latasu tanvishu vilasa cheshtitam vilola drishtir harinanganasu. So nikshepa sa nikshepaha iva punargrahitum niyamasthayataya. She's decided to take a vratam. She is in the niyama, following niyama here, following rules. Because she is following rules, and it is a rules of a yogi or a vrati, one who has decided to follow something until achieving the goal. So lakshya siddhi paryantam tu tatra niyamenaiva gantavyam iti vartate. So what is the niyamam here? Rujunaiva chakshusha abdingra. So she has to, her vilasam, or the way she looks, all her feminine graces are not needed here at this point. So it seems as if she has given all those in safekeeping to certain people. So her grace that is usually found in her body, that feminine grace, she gave that to the creepers in that ashrama. And she also gave her eyesight, that fickle eyesight that she has, which keeps moving here and there. Vilola drishtihi harinanganasu nikshepaiva arpitam. She gave that drishti to the female deer. So she started her... the demeanor changed because the penance demands a different outlook, different attitude. So, niyamasthaya taya punargrahitum, in order to take it back when she needed it later, and when she is back with her priya, when she's back with her husband, she needs all of these. So, dvayeshu dvayam nikshepaiva arpitam. In two sets of people, she placed two things to take it back later as a safekeeping. Nikshepaha iva. Nikshepa is something you place with someone for a safekeeping. Hold on to it, I'll come and take it back. What are those two things involved? Who are the people with whom she kept it? Latasu Tandishu latasu vilasa cheshtitam. Her vilasam is the graceful walk or the way she moves, the body and all that. So vilasa cheshtitam, the actions, she placed it with the creepers. She had a different posture right now. She had a different gait. So it changed because her mind was different today. Vilola drishtihi, that eyes which were in the marunda kangal, Ada vande, she placed it in the harina anganasu, in the female deer. Vilasadinam viramam aha. She no longer exhibited all those. So niyamasthaya taya punargrahitum dvayeshu dvayam nikshepaha arpitam iva. Niyamaha shauchadayaha. So, niyamaha, shaucha, santosha, tapo, yajna, hutadayaha. These are the rules that she had to follow. She had to keep herself pure. Santosha is being satisfied with having a samabuddhi. Instead of jumping too high when you have sukham, or when you are dukkhi, then you totally are depressed. Tatha, there is no imbalance in emotions. You have a very steady emotion, santosha. Tapo, yajna, hutam. So yaga and havanam, all of these are the things that she followed. These are the niyamas. Teshu, niyameshu, tishtantya taya. So niyamasthaya taya. Niyameshu tishtati iti niyamastha. Idam vilasadehe anyatra nikshepe hetuhu. This is the reason why she had to give up all her graceful actions and her drishti, etc. The reason is because niyamasthasa. She had to do that. Punaha arthat priyasangama samaye grahitum swikartum. When she again meets Shiva and she is going to be with him, she needs all of these again, because that this is kamochitam eva tatra tasmat priyasangama samaye eva etesham avashyakata vartate aduna tu na tasmat tatra. She has kept it in the locker and come now. So dvayeshu vakshyamanasu vastu dvayeshu dvayam vaksyamanam vastu dvayam. So dvayeshu becomes the recipient who is going to take care of these things. Dvayam are the objects that she is going to place. Vakshyamana vastu dvayam. Abhishta kale samadatum. Whenever she felt like she wanted to take it back, Satyavadini Brahmadi Rahite Vishwasaniye Jane Dhanasya Nyasaha Nikshepaha Ityuchyate. The word Nikshepa itself means that you are going to, when you place your money with someone, with the hope that you can take it back whenever you want. Yeah. No lock-in period here. So Abhishta Kale, at the time that you want, Samadatum, in order to take it back, Satyavadini, with a person who talks the truth, who speaks the truth, Brahma Adi Rahita, one who does not have any, illusion. Oh, did you give me? I don't know. I don't remember. Tatha yadi vadati tarhi sahatu vishwasaniyaha janaha na bhavati. Avishwasaniyaha eva. So vishwasaniye jane, to a trustworthy person who is not affected by illusion or anything, nor does he, speak untruth, false. So tadrishe jane eva dhanasya nyasaha nikshepaha ityuchyate. So nikshipyate asau iti vyutpatya tad dhanam cha nikshepa shabdartha. Even the word, the treasure that is placed in safekeeping itself is called nikshepa. So nikshepa does not just mean an object which is kept, but even dhanam can have that meaning. Atra tu nikshepa shabdaha dravyaparaha eva. So nikshepa kriyayaha arpana kriya anvaya anupapattehe. Patalna nikshepa iva arpitam ityasti. Arpanam nama swatvam tatra nasti iti. If you have offered something, you can't get it back. Arpanam nale, it is like dhanam or complete surrender. There is a difference between dhanam and arpanam also. Dhanam is you are giving something which the other person expects, and you are also transferring ownership to the other person. Arpanam is you are giving something that belongs to the other person to him. Adudanga arpanam mangar.
But Atma Arpanam and all, that is not like that. Arpanam is.
Ama, it is.
Atma Arpanam belong to them?
The concept of Bharanyasam mangaradu enna? Adudane. It is yours. I have it with me. I have just borrowed it in this body for some time. This Atma belongs to Swami here. That is the Arpanam there.
Oh, okay.
So in this case, there is Arpanam Iva, right? Like she's Arpanam Iva. That means it's Utpreksha, right?
No, it is. It is an Utpreksha. So it is not actually Arpanam, but it is only Nyasaha, which she will take back.
That's as though, Madri Ilya. As though
it has been offered to them. Tangitta illa ipo mattavalta kuduthachu அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி.
அது மானசீகமா கொடுத்திருக்கா
அவ்வளவுதான். ஆமா. Arpitam iva nikshepa rupena nyastam iva. So nyasa is always something you place and take it back in that manner. Yeah. Kim tadvayam kasuva dvayishu ityashankya ashankayam aha vilasa cheshtitam tanvishu latasu vilola drishtihi harinanganasu. So vilasa cheshtitam vilasena yat cheshtitam vyaparaha tat tanvishu. Tanu is krisham. So tanvi is a krisha in strilingam. So krishasu latashu, in those thin creepers, malatyadishu arpitam, she has placed that vilasam. Vilasena yat cheshtitam na vilasangartha is that the hav-bhav that we say, in a very graceful manner what they do. It's also the coquettish glances and that grace, beauty. Yeah. Vilasena yat cheshtitam vyaparaha tattu tanvishu latasu malatyadishu arpitam. Vilola chanchala drishtihi harinanganasu mrigishu cha arpita. Tapassamaye nischala sharirayam nasagradatta lochanayam cha devyam vilasa vilola vilochanayoho adarshanam latasu mrigishu cha tat darshanam cha atra utpreksha hetuhu. So see, the hetu here is tapassamaye. During penance, her body has to be nischalam. When she is doing meditation, and the idila sthitakshanam pakshmasat aditadharaha. I think further there is the shloka where her body is nischalam. It is not moving at all. So that vilasa or the graceful movements are not present in her right now. So nischala sharirayam devyam. Nasagradatta lochanayam. Her eyes should be targeted towards the edge of her nose when she closes her eyes during tapas. So nasa agra datta lochanayam devyam. In Devi, we don't see those two. We don't see vilasa and vilola vilochanam. These two are not seen. Adarshanam. Whereas it is still seen in the creepers and the female deer. So, latasu mrigishu cha tad darshanam. Atra utpreksha hetu. So, the reason for this is, it's natural when we see, so, idu vandu existing da, siddha vishaya, utpreksha. Yeah. Punargrahitum niyamasthayaataya dvaishu nikshēpa ivarpitam dvayam latasu tanvishu vilasa cheshtitam vilola drishtir harinanganasu cha. Atandrita.
Is it hetu utpreksha or utpreksha eva hetuhu asya? What does he mean?
Nikshepaha arpitam iva becomes the the kriya. Okay, so what is the whether that kriya is actually there or not, siddha vishayam or not engiradhu irukalla, adu paakanum. Adukku actually kriya utprekshala siddha vishayama illaiyangiradhu kedaiyadhu. Hetula dhaan solluvom. Only when there is a hetu utpreksha.
So
the reason for the utpreksha,
he means,
sorry, yeah,
the reason for the utpreksha is
that we see these things in others, but we don't see it in Devi when she is performing the tapas. That's all. So it is not hetuhu utprekshitaha iti nasti.
Okay. Okay. So siddha vishayas. That's why you're saying it's siddha. So it's a siddha thing, but we're imagining an utpreksha on an existing thing. Okay, yeah. I see. So your point is it's siddha utpreksha. It is that's the actual classification.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's based on a hetu. Okay. Yeah.
Atandritasa swayameva vrikshakan ghatastana prasnavini vyavardhayat guhopi esham prathamapta janmanam na putra vatsalyam apakarishyati. Atandrita sa vrikshakana vyavardhayat. She nurtured plants there. Vrikshaha is a big tree. Vrikshaka alparthe kapratyaya here. So small plants which can grow into big trees. So she vyavardhayat, vrikshakan vyavardhayat. She grew or nurtured plants there. Atandrita, without even feeling any alasyam here. So atandrita, without feeling lazy, sa swayameva. She didn't appoint people or servants there to take care of the plants. She didn't appoint a gardener here. She was the gardener. So sa atandrita sati, without being lazy, swayameva vrikshakana vyavardhayat. Sa kidrishi sa ityukte ghatastana prasnavini. She had pots which were like her breasts and which poured water. Prasnavini, water was pouring out of a pot which was like her breast. So when you are giving birth to a child and you want to nurture the child, you give them stanyapanena tatra balakanam vardhanam tu prasiddham. Atra cha sa, she is avivahita. She is not married. So it is just if she brought up these plants like her children, then stanyapana, instead of that, instead of her milk, what is here? She poured water through pots which were like her breasts here. So ghatasthana prasnavini vyavardhayat. Yesham prathamapta janmanam guhaha api putra vatsalyam na apakarishyati. Yesham putra vatsalyam. The putra vatsalyam, the affection that she had towards these plants, even Guha, even Skanda could not remove that affection that she showed for these plants, which were born before. Prathama apta janmana. Idla vandu rendu moonu vishayam. Onnu vandu, see, she started growing or she started nurturing these plants even before she was married, and so these were the first children for her. Prathama apta janma, those which had gotten the janma beforehand, before Guha, before Skanda. But Skanda was born later. That is why Patalu first child will always be the favorite. They get the most attention because they enjoy the affection much more than the child who is born next. Guha is the one who was born first, but he is the younger child. Pullayar, Ganesha, was born later, but he is the older child. This is how Puranam is. Okay, adu Shiva Puranathla padikirche you will know this. So Guha was the one who was born first here. Prathama apta janmanam yesham tarunam putra vatsalyam saha guhaha api apakartum na shaknoti. Adavada sa tu Jagannmata iti karanat tasyaha prathama srishtihi to tatra id vrikshaha. After that only she started giving, when she created this entire world, the trees were born even before Guha was born. Appo prathama apta janmanamna Jagannatha Rupathlenda, you can take that also. Itham upakranta tapasaha devyaha samadhehe uparame tatkala uchitam munivrittim varnayati. Yada tu samadhi avasthayam sa vartate tada tu evam, there is no work that she has to perform. So when she is in that samadhi, time goes by in meditation. That's it. Samadhehe uparame. As soon as that samadhi is done with, upakranta tapasaha, when she starts her tapas, Devi, there are time slots that she allots for each and everything. So samadhehe uparame, when that samadhi comes out and vyutthana avasthayam devyaha acharaha kidrishaha vartate tatkala uchitam munivrittim varnayati. She performs the actions that are conducive, that are appropriate for that samayam. When she wakes up, if it is evening time, she pours water to the child or to the trees, etc. So tatkala uchitam munivrittim, vritti nala vyaparaha. So sa atandrita swayameva vrikshakan avardhayat. Atandrita, analasa, without being tired, lazy. Swayameva natu parijanaihi. Swayam dasas tapasvinaha iti nyayaditi bhavaha. I don't know if this is a nyayam in general. எதுலயாவது இருக்கான்னு தெரியல. I don't think this is a quote from somewhere. Swayam dasas tapasvinaha. They are themselves their own servants. They don't have others as servants.
Tapasvinaha swayam dasaha. They serve themselves. They serve themselves.
Okay.
But this whole episode of Parvati getting ready for this tapas and then giving her graces to the creepers and to the harini, all those things, it's very reminiscent of Shakuntala leaving the ashram, right? It's a very similar language descriptions, I feel.
But the opposite ஆயிடுறதுல, she leaves the ashrama and goes to the
friends who were attending to her and all, but Parvati now doesn't have anybody to...
In a way, what he's saying is, see, she was in the ashramam when she ஒரு விடை பெற்று கொண்டு போனா. She went to the palace. It is the opposite, right. No?
Opposite, and the moment the way she treats those plants, those does, those little young deer, that description, it is very similar, right? That the
vatsalyam that she shows, the vatsalyam
right.
that she shows definitely is very this thing of that. Yeah,
a similar episode where he describes the affection of the young girl for the plants and for the deer, right?
Yeah, that you can say. And for the trees, I was looking at second Sarga of Raghuvamsha. எனக்கு அதுல டக்குன்னு நோட் பண்ண முடியல. I think the place where the lion says, இல்லையா, இது this is a tree that was Bhavani ஒன்னு வரும் அப்படின்னு, பவானி அவ வளர்த்தது அப்படின்னு வரும்.
Correct. Samskrita Bharati Kovida book also has it.
எனக்கு அந்த ஸ்லோகம் டக்குன்னு எனக்கு லொகேட் பண்ண முடியல.
Samskrita Bharati exam books.
அந்த சித்ரார்பிதாரம்ப இவாவதஸ்தே மாத்திர ஞாபகம் இருக்கு. I don't remember. சந்தான காமாய, இருங்க வரேன். சந்தான காமாய ததே, no, not this. There should be something. She putraka prema abdinuto. She brought this up with such prema that அத போய் அது அங்க இருக்கும் அப்படிம்பா. அந்த சிம்ஹம் ஒரு குகையில இருக்கும், அங்க பக்கத்துல ஒரு தேவதாரு இருக்கும். That tree is something which Parvati brought it up as her own child அப்படின்னு ஒரு மென்ஷன் இருக்கும் ரகுவம்சத்துல.
I'll get it.
Yeah. Swayam dasaha tapasvinaha iti nyayad iti bhavaha. So they themselves have to help themselves, so they don't have servants to help them. Vrikshakan, vriksha shabdat alparthe kaha, so bala vrikshan ityarthaha. Vyavardhayat, visheshena avardhayat. Vishesham is showing more concern also towards those trees, those plants, as her own child. Swayameva bijavapa purassaram Uttama vrikshan utpadya. By sowing the seeds herself, she created very good trees. Ghata udakena sinchati tana atitaram avardhayat. So vyavardhayat iti vipurvaka avardhayat kalu. So visheshena, what is the vishesha? You have to imagine something there. Probably she sowed the seeds and she poured water to it and paathu valakkardungrol. Yeah. So atitaram avardhayat. Bala vardhana upaya bhutam jala aharanam bhangyantarena aha. For bringing up a child, the bringing of water is being described in a different manner here, in a very beautiful manner. Ghatastana prasnavini. Ghataha eva stanaha. Ghatastanaha tasya prasnavaha ksharat kshiram. So the shorakkardungrol, yeah, the shorakkar and the pal, that is kshiram, the milk that comes from the breast. So here the water comes from the pot. Atra stana, and also when you carry a big pot and you are holding it in such a manner, you know, like a child holding a child to your breast. Tatha atra, you hold the pot and pour water in that manner. சும்மா அப்படி இதுவா பண்ணலங்கிறது. There is a concern in that also. ஆசையா பார்த்து பண்றதுங்கிறது. சும்மா அப்படியே அசால்ட்டா லெஃப்ட்ல போடுறதுங்கிறது இல்ல. ஸ்தன பிரஸ்னவ சப்தௌ வக்ஷ்யமான Amum puraf yes, this is the shloka that I was looking for. Thank you. Amum puraf pashyasi devadarum putri kritoso vrishavadvajena yohema kumbastana nisritanam. See the same, skandasya matuhu payasam rasagyaha. Skanda's mother gave water to this devadaru, putri kritaha. It is aputraha kintu putri kritaha. She took it on, she adopted it like her own child, and hema kumbastana nisritanam payasam rasagnya saha. So it is like he knows the rasam that comes out of her, of the, she brought it up using a suvarna kumbham, which is like her stana. Very similar description here also. Nice. Atra stana prasnava shabdau vakshyamana putra vatsalya spuranartha. This is to give us that idea of vatsalyam. That is why he uses these words. Evam bhuteshu vriksheshu devyaha vatsalya atishayam api bhangyantarena aha. Guhaha api yesham putra vatsalyam na apakarishyati. Even Guha, Trailokya pitarau api Parvati Parameshwarau Yenaiva putravatva abhimanam udvahataha saha subramanya. Udvahataha. Okay. Putravatva abhimanam yau udvahataha. So those two, Parvati and Parameshwara, are known as someone who has a child because of Guha. So Guha is the first child, and until then they were only known as couple. Adikapro, only when Skanda was born, they were known as, okay, they have children, even though they are the father and mother of the entire world. Jagataha pitarau ityapi, Trailokya pitaravapi, Parvati Parameshwarau, yenaiva, yena guhena, eva putravatvam iti abhimanam udvahataha. They carry that abhimanam, or they carry that feeling that they have children. It is only because of Guha. Only when Guha was born there. So saha subramanya api yesham vrikshanam sambandha shashti chayam. So vrikshanam putra, why sambandha shashti? Okay. Putra vatsalyam. Putraha mama iti devyaha vatsalyam. சம்பந்த ஷஷ்டின்னு என்னத்துக்கு அது போடுறாரு பாக்குறேன்.
மமான்னு சொல்லிருக்கேன்.
சரி. ஓ, நாட் சேஷ ஷஷ்டிங்கிறதுக்கு சொல்றேன். ஓகே. Seri. So, putreshu uchitam vatsalyam. Whatever is the vatsalyam or affection that you show for a child, that affection which belongs to these trees, which were born first, na apakarishyati swa udbhavanantaram na nirakarishyati. What is the reason for that? Guha udbhavat purvam eva aptam praptam janma yaihi tesham. Devyaha tadvishayasya vatsalyasya nitaram rudhatvat. Because these trees were born even before Guha was born, and she was taking care of them even before her marriage, let alone, they had gotten their janma, apta janma, even before Guha. So, prathama apta janmanam tesham. Devyaha tadvishayasya vatsalyasya nitaram rudhatvat. அது ஊறி இருக்குங்கிறோம்ல, அதுதான் வேரூன்றி இருக்கு. So, nahi rudhamolaha mahadbihi api chalyate. The affection which has taken root cannot be removed even by great people there. So, atra vatsalya apakarana abhavaha guham prati viruddhaha iti virodhalankaraha. Guha
But
is
why would anybody want to remove that kind? No, like what is that
அதனால தான் எனக்கு அந்த
mahadbhi?
விரோத அலங்காரம் எனக்கு பிடிக்கல கொஞ்சம். இட் டசன்ட் மேட்டர்.
நன்னவே இல்ல.
வேண்டாம், அவசியம் இல்லை. நான் அபாகர்த்தும் சக்னோத்தின்னா, அதாவது டிரான்ஸ்பரன்ஸ் கேனாட், யூ கேனாட், அதை வந்து விட்டு கொடுக்கவே முடியாது அவளாலங்கிறது. அம்பாளுக்கு யாரையுமே விட்டு கொடுக்க முடியாது. பிரம்ம கீட்ட ஜனனி அவ. சோ இது என்ன பெரிய சும்மா. அதந்திரிதாசா ஸ்வயமேவ விரக்ஷகான் கடஸ்தன பிரஸ்னவினி வியவர்தயத் குஹோபி ஏஷாம் பிரதமாப்த ஜன்மனாம் ந புத்திர வாத்சல்யம் அபாகரிஷ்யதி. ஓகே.